We're outside the Regional Control Centre for the South West down here in Taunton on the Blackbuck Industrial Estate. Behind me you can see the building. There's obviously people in there working away merrily. The big part of the Fire Brigade Union's campaign over the rest of the summer, so that's August and September, is to lobby hard at councillors, county councillors and members of fire authorities, so that when they make their final decision at their meetings during September and October, they make the right decision, and that is to veto coming into the Regional Control Centre behind us. We've done an extremely hard work over the last few months, contacting all councillors, members of fire authorities to make that decision. The current position is that all authorities in the South West have agreed in principle to come to the Regional Control Centre. However, they've not agreed finally to come. They want to see the business benefits for their own authorities. It's certainly the contention of the FBU that Regional Control Centre, as the one behind us, is going to cost far more than the current control operations in each of the 6 authorities down here. As I said, we're hoping and working so that councillors make the right decision through those meetings in September, October. For example, Cornwall County Council, as a result of the FBU's campaign over the last 12 months, agreed to put 3.8 million into the fire service over the next 3 years. And what we're trying to convince Cornwall County Councillors to do is not to let that money come up or be siphoned off into the Regional Control Centre behind us, because it's certainly absolutely crystal clear now that there is no savings, there are no financial savings to be made as a result of coming here. In the present economic climate, in the present political climate, we think there's a job of work to be done down here, and we think we can convince county councillors to make that right decision. And we will be working extremely hard over the next 6-7 weeks to ensure that the right decision is made at these important meetings in September, October.
This is Avon Fire and Rescue Services control room. We're based at Lansdowne, just outside of Bath. And this is where we take all the 999 calls for the Avon area, which is Bath, Bristol, Weston-super-Mare and as far up as Thornbury. This is where all the calls come in from the operator, they're passed to us. We also take calls from central alarm stations and from the local airports. This is where the calls come in on here. We also have the radio scheme where we talk to all our appliances on this screen here. This is known as Vivista. And this is our mobilising computer. It's called Vision, and this is where we take the address, type the address in and send the details through to the station with the type of incident that we're sending them to. We have a list of all the incidents that we're currently attending, and we have a mapping system where we can look and see exactly where the addresses are, where the hydrants are located, where telephone kiosks are, and we also have the facility to look up chemicals, so we can pass the information to crews and see what appliances are doing, whether ready to send them on. And we also have a upstate map.
At the moment, we're looking at 7 fire controls, which is staffed with approximately 30 staff. The RCC project are looking to reduce that to about 16 staff. So that's about a 50% reduction, but the calls will still remain the same coming into that control. The RCC have said, well, if we're busy, that will be sent to the next nearest RCC. But if that RCC are also working with 50% less staff, how are they going to take the overload of calls from the southwest when they're dealing with the same amount of calls in their own control? And what's going to happen is it go around the country and end up back in the southwest again. I just feel that there is going to be so much of a delay for the public, and the service that we offer now will not be the same in the future.
One of the biggest problems, or the biggest thing that the government say that isn't important, is local knowledge, but local knowledge is important. You look at the size of our area. I just live just outside of Bath, and there's some small lanes that I know like the back of my hand. When you've got somebody that doesn't know where they are, trying to locate them, okay, it might only be a rubbish fire, but it could also be somebody's house, and you try getting an address out of somebody that doesn't know where they are. Local knowledge counts considerably, and you're also just going to get, you could end up waiting in a queue, you're going to get somebody that's speaking to you from the other end of the country, which is just not really acceptable, and it's going to add time to mobilising as well.
One of the issues as being a watch manager is to see the morale of the staff, and you can certainly tell that the staff are very, very concerned. They don't know what the future holds for them. There's no guaranteed jobs for the RCC. We're told that they would have to apply for the jobs along with everybody else, so there's no guarantees for people in the future. As you say, people have got mortgages now. They need to know or how to plan their life. It's not good for the morale of the staff.
When I first joined up, I was aware of it. I knew it was around, but you think it would never happen. but obviously it's about now. I mean, I'm young enough that if this is the end, then I'm almost young enough that I can go on to other things. But yeah, I mean, when you do join up, you do think the fire service can be a great career. You're set for life, so it is a bit of a kick in the teeth now that possibly be jobless in a couple of years' time. I mean, I've only been here a year, and I can already see that going regional is not going to be better than how it is now. I've only been here a year. People that have been here years can see that even more.
We had the Weston-super-Mare Pier fire recently. It's things like the goodwill on the stations when the stations, when they need to go out on reliefs, we plan it in advance, say make sure you get some food, make sure you get your drink, get down there and plan it around them being able and fit and well enough to go on reliefs, so that we cater for everybody. That's not going to be thought of. And things like taking a crew perhaps off the run when they've been on a job and they're filthy muddy, so they can get cleaned up. Things like that are just going to stop.
My advice is cancel the project now and invest some money into the existing controls. If you want to bring the controls up to standard, spend a fraction of the cost on each control. Abandon this project now, because I don't think it's good for the staff of the fire service, and it's certainly not going to be good for the public of this country.
Local knowledge, I think, is key. I mean, the further south you go, for us, it's going to be really hard to get a location out of a caller if he doesn't know where he is in a country lane somewhere. So I mean, I think we do a great job here. I mean, we don't get complaints. We turn out resources. So yeah, and I think the public see that and probably appreciate that if they had the check. But I think this is sort of hidden away from the public. I don't think they know as much as we know, which I think if they did, there'd probably be uproar. But yeah, I think we do a great job here at Avon.
Too much money has been spent on this project already, and it's still possible that they could cancel this project. As I said earlier, invest the money in the existing controls, and we could offer a far better service if that's what they want, without any upheaval for the staff and for the public of this country.